Hey guys, trying to put together a video of the trip to Mexico and the trip down to San Saba and then the trip to Mexico. Now I gotta come clean. I did not get any video of the speaking to the youth group there in San Saba. In my defense, I had just made the drive back from Kentucky. I'd been sleeping in my pickup and I didn't even get to come home and sleep. I just went straight to San Saba. And by the time I got there, I was just gassed and trying to get my thoughts collected for what I was going to share. And so I didn't video that at all. What you will see in the video is the next morning when I woke up, my good friend Daryl Hoyt put me up. I stayed at his place down there the night after I spoke, and then woke up the next morning and was just very blessed. And talk about that a little bit in the video. Sam, I don't know, just a blessing. And then I come home. I got to come home for 2 nights. Got home, for a couple nights. And then got up early after the second night and then headed to Mexico. And come up on that accident down there. I talk about that a little bit. And so it was just kind of a tough deal. But we'll go into the video here and then, I don't know, I'll explain a little bit more after the fact. So here we go. This is me, waking up. Waking up in San Saba and being very, very blessed. I just leaving San Saba this morning. I spoke here to a youth group last night. I was in Kentucky yesterday, and actually day before yesterday. I spent yesterday traveling to get here, and had an obligation to come down here and speak, and was excited to meet that obligation. So came down to do that. I put a lot of miles on my pickup, and I like to get my bang for my buck, and so my tires on my pickup it was time for new tires, and so I had been trying to find them locally in Graham, and I couldn't find any tires. We just couldn't get it done, and so I'm starting to scramble because I'm running out of time, because I'm headed to Mexico here in a couple of days, and I'm not wanting to go deep down into Mexico on bad rubber. And I also had a hum in the front of my pickup that I couldn't find. I couldn't figure out. There was just something weird at about 64 to 75 miles an hour. I had this weird hum, and I couldn't find that hum. So took the truck into the tire shop. I got here last night at about 6, and my friend Sam asked me, how things were going. I said, man, it's great. I'm just trying to get back to Graham so I can try to find some tires, because I've got some more running to do, and I'm just getting a little leery on the tires that I've got. And he said, well, let me make some phone calls. And he took about 10 minutes and called and did this and did that and came back and said, I got a guy that can get tires for you. What size are they? And I said, man, I don't remember off the top of my head. And a few minutes later, I seen him again, and he said, yeah, I've got your tires. They're going to be here in the morning. And it was like, wait a minute, I don't even, and he said, no, we're gonna get this. We need you to get tires on, And he said, we'll have them down there at 8:30 in the morning. And he said, I've already went out and got your tire size off your pickup and got it sorted out. So I spent the night here last night. My friend Daryl Hoyt put me up in his little spare room and spent the night. Got up this morning, went over there, and they put tires on, just lickety split. I told the gentleman, I said, I got a hum in the front of my truck somewhere. And so he found out that I had my right front wheel was fixing to fall off. And yeah, they're going to close at noon today. They really didn't have time to work on it, but he knew that it was something that needed to be done. And they found a bearing immediately, and his crew jumped on it, got my truck fixed, and man, I'm ready to go. So I'm ready to go meet up with the gentleman and square up. And he looks me in the eyes and extended his hand for a handshake and told me to have a Merry Christmas. So I got new tires on my pickup, and I got a new bearing on the front end. He didn't charge me a dime. I can't explain what it is from my perspective to see God manifest himself in ways that he does. And a lot know, some don't. We don't raise support to do the ministry that we do. We just go and we do, and we trust that God will meet us there. And I don't tell people to do that. I don't encourage people to do that. I encourage people to be led by the Spirit of God as an individual. And that's where he's led us at this point. And that's what we've done for the last several years, is we just go and do, and it materializes somehow, some way. But it's in ways like this that I never thought that God would manifest himself to me in ways like this. But it's such a sweet blessing to see things like this, and to see God continue to take care of my family and our needs. So, kind of a weird little testimonial. Some will appreciate it. Some will think, well, somebody just pitched in and bought you tires. Well, somebody did, and I'm not sure who did. Sam probably had a hand in it. I'm not sure who donated anything, but I say thank you and glory to God. I am the most blessed man on the planet. Blessings. All right, just leaving the house, headed to my buddy Bill King's office here in town to load the truck down with gifts. Headed down to Big Heart Orphanage in Reynosa, and then headed down to the other Big Heart Orphanage down past Monterey. So it's not too far of a drive down to Reynosa. It's about 9 hours, and then I think it's another 4 hours from Reynosa down to Big Heart in the mountains. Down. I think it's down kind of west of Monterey, Mexico. Never been down there. A little nervous, to be honest. I've not driven around in Mexico, and I don't know a whole lot about Mexico. I don't read Spanish, and so hopefully I've got decent enough cell service that my maps will work, because if I don't, I don't have a map. I don't have a way of knowing where I'm at or how to get someplace or anything. So anyway, we'll see. I mean, it's what it is. I'm loaded. I think we've got gifts for maybe 5 or 6 of the kiddos here in the back seat of my pickup, and then I've got gifts for 4 other folks, a couple of staffers and some of their kids and stuff in the back of my pickup, and then I'm going to pick up a whole bunch more stuff for probably another 20 other people. So anyway, I don't know if I'll put together a video of these trips or not. I just got back from Mayfield, Kentucky, and I got a lot of video footage of that trip, and may try to put something together with that. And then went down and spoke to a youth group yesterday, day before, down in Central Texas, and I got some footage from going down there. So I don't know if I'm going to try to put together a video of these trips or not. I don't know how to put it together where it would intrigue people, I guess, and it's so easy to just make it look like I'm trying to make these things all about me, and look at me, and so it's awkward, because I'm just videoing I'm just kind of documenting what I'm doing, so it's video of me, and I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, headed to Big Heart Orphanage in Reynosa, Mexico. Well, my reality for today is sometimes helping people hurts. It's not always fluffy, warm feelings to help people. I'm headed to a couple of orphanages down in Mexico, and I've got a truckload of gifts, and man, that's a sweet kind of helping people. It's just nice, man. You feel good about it. It gives you joy, happiness, and it makes you cry tears of joy. But there's helping people sometimes that just don't feel that way. And driving through a bit of a rainstorm just south of San Antonio a while ago, and came up on an accident. I didn't see the accident happen, but as I pulled up on it, I could tell it was pretty recent. So I jumped out and ran down, and they were trying to get the gentleman out of the vehicle, and his feet were hung, and I crawled in and kind of got his feet loose and got him out. I basically just held on to his right leg and just prayed. One gentleman and a sweet lady came down, and she was a nurse, and he'd done a little bit of medical stuff, I guess. She started doing chest compressions. She even was doing mouth to mouth on the gentleman that was laying there, and there was a lot of blood, and she was getting blood all over her face, but she dove in and just went for it. Man, it was cool to see that. After a bit, the other guy there, I met him, name's Kevin, he started doing chest compressions, took over for the lady, and the gentleman's pulse was weak, and then it just dissipated to nothing. So they stopped chest compressions, and it wasn't long after, and the medics showed up, and they did incredible. It was incredible to watch this kid. I say he was a kid. He looked 23, but he was clearly older than that because of how knowledgeable and efficient he was with what he was doing. But he was really good at what he did, and it wasn't his first rodeo. Clearly was not his first rodeo. And I was just kind of the package opener guy for him. I was just ripping packages open. He would hand them to me and tell me to open it, and that was kind of my job at that point, as I'm still trying to pray for the gentleman laying there. They breathing a little compression bag in his mouth, and as it would exhale, sometimes it would spatter precip, blood and stuff on me, and it was humbling. It was humbling. The gentleman, he didn't make it. He passed away, and I don't know. It's just the reality of life. We're all going to check out one day. I mean, we're all destined to transition from life as we understand it. And that being said, even though it's a fact of reality that a fact of life, of a reality that we're all going to experience, it doesn't come easy when you're that close to it. And so my heart hurts right now. We dug the gentleman's wallet out, trying to dug through his car. It was mangled bad, looking for his cell phone, and trying to find a way of contacting his family. And looked like there was a picture of him with, looks like 3 kiddos, 10 to 2-ish. And I don't know. I'll say this, that sometimes helping people it's a lot of fun, and it's sweet, and it's beautiful. Sometimes it's like a dagger in your heart. But I reckon I would risk a dagger any day than to just drive on by and not risk it. I see it a lot in every aspect of life. People will slow down and gawk as a family's coming apart at the seams, as a child is spun out on dope, as a father's twisted off on alcohol. People will slow down and watch. They want to get close enough to get the gossip, but they don't want to get close enough to get any bloodstains on them. And I just feel like as a body of Christ, we're going to have to start getting a little closer. I just stopped at a Quickie Mart, wiped that gentleman's blood off my hands. And I reckon that's what God's calling the body to do, is get close enough that every once in a while you might have to go wash your hands. Anyway, I ask you guys to pray for the family, and heck, all of us that were out there. It haunts. It's not my first time I've ever experienced this, and I don't fully understand why I feel like I keep getting in these situations. Maybe because I stopped. Maybe if I just wouldn't stop anymore, it'd be all right. Maybe the whole message that I'm trying to share right now is why I get hurt. But anyway, just asking for prayers for all involved. Blessings. All right. This is where the rubber's finna meet the road. really don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm gonna go. Dang. Howdy, Mom.
¿Español habla?
Excuse me?
Español.
Nah.
Open the door,
Oh.
please.
Thank you.
Sir, how you doing? Shut her off.
Hello, my friend. How are you? Where are you going?
Big Heart Orphanage in Reynosa.
I need inspection your car, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Please open.
Okay.
Este es susceptible, güey.
Sí.
Sorry, guys. Have a blessed evening.
Okay. They searched, kind of threw the stuff in the pickup, and gave me virtually zero problems. When they opened the back and they seen how much stuff there was, they were pretty disheartened, and so they were just like, you have a good day, my friend. So anyway, made it through. I'm in Mexico, so now I got to get off the phone and get this maps program to the orphanage. Blessings. Rio Grande. That is the border from Mexico to USA, United States of America. Okay, so yeah, the car accident on the way down to the orphanage was it was pretty gnarly, and so by the time I left the scene there and was headed on down to Reynosa, man, I'll just tell you, I just wanted to come home. I wanted to go be with my wife and go be with my kids. And I couldn't get to Reynosa fast enough so that I could do a 180 and head back to my home and be with my family. And so I did not go on down to Big Heart in the mountains, which is down past Monterey. In fact, I got to Reynosa pretty late, slept for a few hours, unloaded a bunch of gifts, and then just came straight back home. So did not get any footage to speak of in Mexico, and I apologize, but had a lot on my mind. I was really fatigued. It'd been a long couple weeks from Kentucky to getting around. So yeah, I just didn't get a lot of footage, but I do want to share with what the Lord spoke to my heart. And this is a sermon that I've shared for quite some time, but it was very real to me that day at the accident as I was leaving. And had to go to a Quickie Mart just, 10-15 miles down the road, and literally wash the gentleman's blood off of my hands, and it was even splattered on my face. And so it was just kind of a surreal time for me to think about the kiddos that had lost their father, and the wife that had lost her husband, and the family members and friends, and on down the list. But What it made me really think about strongly is when we read in Genesis, when God created the heavens and the earth, we read that God spoke. When God created things, when He created the universe and the earth, and in the beginning the earth was formless and void, but when He created things, He spoke them into existence. There's a lot of messages in that about the power of the tongue, but that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going is when it got to the point where when God created man, which He created in His image, by the way. I like that it puts that in there because I feel like that adds, well, because God wanted us to know that He created us in His image. But the way I read whenever it talks about God spoke and God spoke and God spoke when He was creating the universe, when it got to man, He said, He spoke. But He said, let us create man. Let us make man. And so, at that point, I believe our Heavenly Father, God, rolled His sleeves up. And He got down in the dirt. And He got His hands dirty. And He got dirt under His fingernails. And He created man. And He breathed life into us. And He created us in His image with dirty hands. What that speaks to me is that if we want to create something that looks like God, we got to do more than just talk about it. We got to do more than just lip service the image of God. And the fact that we are created in His image and we walk erect and talk does not mean that we look like God. We have to make a conscious effort, I believe, to be a demonstration of who He is. And I believe a lot of that comes when we roll our hands up and say, oh God, the harvest is plentiful, the workers are few. Here I am, oh God. Send me, take me out, and let me get my hands calloused and let me get my hands dirty. Because if you want to make something that looks like Him, it takes more than talk. It's got to affect us all the way down to our walk. So I want to challenge you with that idea. That we don't earn our salvation. But just like God, if we want to make something that looks like Him, we may have to do a little more than talk about it. I want to challenge you to understand that God created you with a plan and a purpose. And in all your imperfections, and in all the ways that you've fallen short, He wants to take you to the highways and hedges that you might compel Him to come in. Blessings.